Hang on there, guys. Whoa. Okay. Whoop. Nope. Ah, crud. Alright, 1 second, guys, as I figure out some technical difficulties here. Huh. Dang it. Alright, hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I think I got it. Just had to get things going here. So, we're here, we're on air, and we got a storm moving into Colorado Springs. Somebody asked saying Colorado is the only place hail will hit from now on. That is correct. I feel you there. So here we go. We got a storm moving in here. Let me roll this radar back just a tiny bit so we can all take a look at how it's rolling up. Yes, Mark, you're about to get hit in Colorado Springs. So I got it rolling here. You can see the storm starting to move in, and see it really kind of take off as it's rolling off the mountains now towards Colorado Springs. Looks like we are going to very soon be heading into the city here. Let's see what their warning is for. Warnings now for golf ball size hail. That I believe that as I was trying to get this stuff going here, I was like, this storm's probably taking off. I think we're probably gonna get close to golf ball size hail, and the warning now reflects that. Again, this is in Manitou Springs. Let me zoom in. There you go. You got the roads to look at. I will move to the other side of the screen. You can see CC drop a little bit here. Not super easy to notice, but if I switch, you can really see where the majority of the hail is falling. This is what we call the ZDR. This is what we showed of where there's majority hail falling versus rain. And obviously, where there's more gray, there's more hail. And we have it reflecting here. See all the pink? There's their normal reflectivity. And with that, a lot of hail is falling as well. Marker has been pretty high. The storm's looking pretty good. You got that nice arc right in here, a nice little supercell, again, rolling off the mountains, rolling off of, what is this highway? Highway 24. And it's going to be heading pretty much directly into downtown in, let's see, the coming minutes here. Most recent frame, literally right on I-24, and it's moving east-southeast towards into Colorado Springs. Move it north into Parker. I don't think it's going to get that far north, man. Parker is a hell of a ways to the north. But here we are. So again, in Colorado Springs, we got this storm moving in. Warned for golf ball size hail. Likely, we roll it back to this frame here. This is right when I got on air. But I was having some issues with my screen. Came moving in. So now we're starting to roll off the mountains into Colorado Springs here. Looks like we could see yet another storm for the Colorado area. If this moved into the direction I think it is, it might actually impact a different part of Colorado Springs than the other storms had so far this year. So maybe get a little bit different area in a city that already got blasted. But hey, nonetheless, gotta take what you get, right? Most recent radar frame update here. You see that arc continues. Looks like a pretty healthy supercell. Let me try to get echo tops. Let's see if this. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So maintaining its strength looks pretty good. Colorado is very selfish, says Joshua. Yes, it is. It is hogging all those good hailstorms this year as we continue. As I mentioned earlier today in the forecast, I did say for that chance for hail, I did say just Denver, but I said pretty much anywhere from Colorado Springs up to the border on the Wyoming-Colorado border. So again, looks like we're probably seeing yet another storm trying to roll its way down the mountains and plop a bunch of golf ball size hail onto Colorado Springs or the areas just to the west. We'll see. Oh yeah, Colorado Springs. Yeah, the little macro just keeps going up and down. Denver Metro, please, just Metro. Well, hey, there's still plenty of time for storms to roll on through the Denver area. And also, just as a note, to the north, we are getting quarter-size hail in Cheyenne, Wyoming right now as well. So Denver, you're not seeing anything at the moment, but it is only 2 o'clock Mountain Time. There's plenty of time for more storms to form and to roll off the mountains in the Denver area. I mean, you can even see some showers here off to the west, even one up north by Fort Collins. So just because this storm is moving towards Colorado Springs does not mean that that is going to be the only activity today along the Front Range. But for folks that are further south in Denver, it might be getting kind of shut out in Denver. We do have a storm now moving in to Colorado Springs. Probably going to go right through downtown. Pinpoint right in here is where all the biggest hail is going to be. I'm sure probably about golf ball size hail. In the very least, very, very high volumes of hail. The signature trait of all Colorado storms is a really high volume of hail that tends to come in these storms. It looks like definitely very high volume up to golf ball size hail, as I think we're going to move into Colorado Springs here in the coming minutes. So give this video a share and a shout out to C3 Group. I did not get that on there. While we're waiting for this thing to move through, I'll just switch it over to them real fast just to give you guys a little ad, and I'll be right back in just a second.
After a billion-dollar hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too. Visit us online at c3adjusters.com and learn how we can help save you time and get claims paid faster.
Okay guys, and we're back. Just again, shout out C3 Group. Link in the description below on this Facebook live stream. If you're not watching us on Facebook, go like us on Facebook. Go like C3 Group on Facebook as well. Check them out. They sponsor our videos. So a big shout out to them. And hey, they're based out of Colorado, so if you need help with claims and everything, they're going right in your backyard. So anyway, back to the storm. We got a couple radar frame update here. Looks like we're going to have now moving into the western sections of Colorado Springs here. So let me name off a couple roads real quick, like Bear Creek Road, for example. This area, so it's like right in here. It's pretty easy to see on radar, guys, and it's moving this way. So heading towards, what was that, Broadmoor? Reported golf balls. Yeah, I've mentioned that already. Saying golf ball. Yeah. So Train Spotters has saying golf ball size hail. You guys are all saying stuff in the comments. So anyway, we got that golf ball size hail again. This is moving into Broadmoor, or Colorado Springs Broadmoor. So I think anywhere from Highway 24 point south to the very southern edge of the storm, all this moving this way. A lot of it might end up impacting areas that have been affected. Colorado Springs had that very first big hailstorm that Colorado had this year, having like 3 o'clock in the morning. Got that like softball size hail and Fountain and Fort Carson and Stratmore. All those areas got really big time hail. This might be moving kind of close to that. I think a little further north. Again, downtown, I expect downtown's going to get at least quarter size hail. And again, this is continuing to move through. Looks like it is at the very least maintaining its strength, if not possibly trying to strengthen a little bit. And just a little side note, I am still working on the Canon camera. We used to have the camera that was connected, the 4K camera. We switched back because Derek needed it for the truck. So if the battery dies, I'll just pop a commercial on real fast, and then we'll change out those batteries. But just as a little note, that may happen again. So just letting you guys know. All right, this next frame update here looks pretty good. Let me zoom in a little bit. This neighborhood looks like they're getting pounded. A lot more pinks than the DBZ returns. A lot more. The CCs are actually lowering quite a bit. I know it's a little harder to see. In Colorado Springs, the correlation coefficient, all the what do I put it? The dual pole products kind of have some issues when they're right by the mountains, just because there's mountains there and it kind of messes things up a little bit. But we are able to still tell that yes, there's quite a bit of hail. Again, very high volumes of hail here with that ZDR, that all the more grays you see showing up on screen like this, that means there's much more hail falling. There's probably almost exclusively hail falling in these locations, anywhere in the pink on the radar on this side of the screen. And let's see, KDP. This basically shows you how much rain's in the storm, and when it's bottoming out like this, that means there's probably very little in the way of rain. Again, real textbook storm for Colorado. Very high volume of hail, almost exclusively hail falling, and also, at least with this year, probably quite a bit of large hail as well. The marker, the little hail marker, little hail indicator over here, keeps increasing, so showing that storm is probably continuing to strengthen. If I pop on Echo Tops and zoom out just a little bit here, yeah, zoom out and we look. And I had those Echo Tops brought up. I'm actually going to do something Derek did a little earlier. I'm going to take my little controller. I'm going to use it as a remote on here. But you can see here with the Echo Tops continuing, looks like they're increasing. So the storm is strengthening as it's coming off the mountains, which is not surprising. We have a natural lifting mechanism. You got the mountains off to the west, so the air is flowing this way, and it hits the mountains and has nowhere to go but up. And that helps make the storm have a stronger updraft, get a little bit bigger, and go ahead and make it stronger and make bigger hail. More violent updrafts make more hail. And next update, we got another radar update here. A lot more hail's falling out now. We have looks to be quite a bit of hail across sections of downtown, just south of downtown. In here, you can see the CCs are lowering a little bit. All the other products are showing up. There's hail falling now just on or just south of downtown Colorado Springs. And this one area off to the west here, I think, is really getting pounded. Anywhere along Cresta Road and Argus Boulevard, you guys are probably getting quite a bit of hail, probably very high volumes of hail. Starting a couple of reports now, quarter size hail, and what's the other one here? Got some penny size hail reports coming in. What can I see? Are there other wood? The only reports that are showing up so far. So, and are we gonna switch out the cameras? Maybe. Okay, sorry. Derek's just off camera. He brought the other camera in. So when the battery of this eventually goes, we'll just switch cameras. Make it even a little bit better for you guys. So feel free to put the comments in. I think I had the comments off. I think I might have turned the comments off on the screen, but that's okay. I got my phone here with the Facebook comments coming in, so I can still read them. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to go over anything, I will gladly do that. I just have these radars up right now. I don't have the full nation view. I got to go over a couple things. The screen grab on my computer was a little weird, and it was just showing the infinity mirror of myself, so I'll have to figure that out afterwards. But there is indeed another storm. It got some quarter-size hail in Cheyenne. It looks like that's the only, they had nickel to quarter-size hail at the National Weather Service office there. The main storm we're talking about here, the big deal storm, is here in Colorado Springs. Again, western sides of town are getting very high volumes of hail, quarter to golf ball size hail. We have a couple quarter reports in so far. We'll see if any other larger hail ends up coming into reports. Again, the storms are now just moving through. The storm is definitely strengthening. It's much stronger now than it was a few frames ago. If I roll the radar back a little bit, you see this is where it was when it was just rolling off the mountains, right when I got live, and it showed, the storm looked okay, but now it's looking much better, much more classic looking supercell, and my goodness, that most recent frame update shows very high volume of hail. Lots and lots of hail's falling. It's only hail falling now in Broadmoor and Colorado Springs. So continue. The update is the warning has been updated to golf ball size, continuing for golf ball size hail. And man, geez, good lord, this thing is. Another quarter report came in. This is one in downtown. Yeah, at the report in quarter size hail at 1070 Transit Drive in Colorado Springs. right by downtown. I said downtown we're gonna get at least quarter size hail. That makes sense. Again, the biggest hail is gonna be over here, over by Broadmoor, up by downtown. You guys did not get. You weren't right under that updraft. So the updraft right here, that's where the biggest hail is always going to be. And downtown is just to the east of that. So you're getting quarter size hail. So this section here is getting quarter size hail. Is that number 114 or 115? Not sure which, what? Not sure what you're talking about there, George. But anyway, with, let's see, 265, 2. Yeah, it's continuing. Yeah, this thing's really continuing to go here. So Broadmoor, this is the area where the golf ball size hail is going to be in here. So from this highway to the points west and south and west, so highway west of Highway 87, you're going to have very high volumes of hail up to golf ball size, and that's going to continue moving to the east-southeast, or actually it might be moving a little more south now. Yeah, it's moving more south. So the storm has rooted itself. Once these storms go and they really strengthen, they kind of go surface-based. So they root themselves to the ground, and they always kind of make a turn. So instead of going off to the east, they turn, they start going south. This may just ride down the mountain here towards Fort Carson, Strathmore, and eventually Fountain, which I know a lot of folks who are in Fountain probably don't want to hear that because they had hail go through their decking and everything about a month ago, or a month and a half ago now. And we got another storm. Looks like we're heading in here. We'll see how big this hail gets. Right now, I'm saying for sure getting golf ball size hail in this area. So, was this Highway 87? I said. I want to say I-25, Highway 85, Highway 87. Yeah, Highway 87. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so we got another frame update here, and the CCs are finally reflecting what I've been talking about on radar. You see the greens, you see the blues, you see the yellows. That all means big time hail, especially when it reflects with the DBZ, the radar reflectivity returns, which you guys normally see on TV. When they get past the pinks and you see the little bright blues there, that's when it's really heavy. And there's a ping pong ball report that just popped up. So really heavy. It's incredibly high volumes of hail. And probably, if you guys remember the day all those storms happened in Denver and Greeley and Fort Collins, everything, that one video that we shared where it was just pouring tons and tons of big hail, I would not be surprised to see another video like that from a storm like this. Storm continues to be strengthened. I think now on the south sides of Broadmoor, so right where my hand's at, I wouldn't be surprised they got that golf ball to 2-inch hail. Very high volumes of hail. Again, ranging all different sizes, but very high volumes of hail, especially getting up closer to bigger hail. So I know we had storms. Again, Colorado Springs, you guys had a big storm. Probably one of the crazier storms this year with the high volumes of very, very large hail. I don't think that is the case right now. I think we're going to be more classic, very high volumes of hail nonetheless, but more quarter to golf ball. And I think now we might be starting to get closer to maybe some 2-inch hail along area like sections of Broadmoor, like Highway 115 and over by Sierra Vista Drive. I think those areas are seeing a lot more bigger hail, but nonetheless very high volumes of hail. And you can see all the quarter reports are starting to come in now. Reports are starting to stream in. So I think the reports are just going to get bigger as the storm definitely looks like it has been strengthening as we're moving, and it's beginning to move more to the south. I think right here, so this little area right here, this little area of green, I think that must be some kind of boundary it's riding down. And it's just going to continue to move to the south and move into Fort Carson and Strathmore. These are areas that were hit about a month and a half ago. So the houses weren't damaged from that other storm in June. Well, you might be getting some damage now. Were there other storms in Fountain this year in this area? To other folks? I don't know. It's hard to keep track. Colorado's had enough hailstorms this year where it's kind of rough to keep track of everything. Also, another thing to note, we got it looks like a pretty good hail time. So in this next radar update, it's about a 4-minute period, and it has not moved a whole bunch. So we're getting a lot of hail again on these western end of town in Colorado Springs. I don't know what areas of town are the nice areas, the bad areas, but this area is getting pounded. I also think it looks like we got quarter-size hail in Black Forest, or I guess up to ping pong ball size hail warned in Black Forest. This area has had hail multiple times this year. So we got another storm up here. And further to the north, nothing for Denver right now. More quarter reports came in, so it looks like a pretty widespread quarter-size hail event across Cheyenne. West side is nice. Cool, David. Awesome. So this is probably what you guys want to hear then. Huh? 2-inch report? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, so 2-inch report just came in now, and exactly where I was talking about. So right in here, right what we were talking about, up to that 2-inch hail over by Broadmoor. I guess that's West Colorado Springs. So right here, in these couple frames that I have going, 2-inch hail fell, and I think 2-inch hail continues to fall. Especially if I roll it back to right there, it's really easy to see. You got the really high, really dark pinks, or bright pink DBZs, reflectivity returns, and then our CCs, our good old hail indicator, all those greens and blues. These are the colors you like to see. All that stuff really makes it so we're going to have a lot of good time out. And there it is. There's that 2-inch report finally popping up on my screen here. Is there a location? That just said train spotter. So with that, the storm continues to move. It looks like my battery's about to die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a longer C3 group commercial. And hopefully I can switch over the camera in time. And if I can't, well, there'll be at least a little bit more of awkward, quiet. Hang on, Derek. Derek. Where'd he go? Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. Okay. I got it. Okay, guys. It's going to be real quick. I'm going to switch out because the battery's about to die on this camera. I'll switch to the 4K camera. We'll be back in just a minute.
After a $1 billion hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too. Visit us online at c3adjusters.com and learn how we can help save you time and get claims paid faster.
Okay, guys, 1 second here. Let me. Am I on here? Ah, dang it. Hang on, guys. Huh. Alright guys, so I know you can hear me. I don't have the video up right now. We got baseball size hail happening right now. But I can't get my video is not wanting to show up. So nope, that's not what I wanted. There I am. Aha, I got it. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Derek, can you zoom the camera out a little bit? If you can. Cool. Alright guys, sorry about that. We had to change, since changing camera is a little challenging to do. Whoa! Oh, there we go. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Why not? We're good. Whoa. Oh boy. Hang on. We gotta. Yeah. Derek's just jacking around. He's keeping our coverage from getting serious. But anyway, okay. So ignore. I got the better quality camera, so you can see I guess apparently the sweat on my head's shine a little bit. But big thing, I guess we're making another 5-star map, guys, because we got baseball size hail falling. So while we were changing out cameras, so back where I said it looked really good, well, I guess it was even better than I was expecting. Baseball size hail. Colorado this year, constantly trying to make baseball size hail every single time. I think it's going to be more conventional hailstorm for Colorado. We get baseball size hail happening again. This is, so we have an intersection. We just have, just said train spotter. So again, this storm is moving towards, it's in Stratmore and Fort Carson now. It's warned for baseballs now, obviously, as baseball size hail is occurring. We've had other reports of 2-inch hail a little bit earlier on the western sides of Colorado Springs. Fort Carson, you are getting, let's see here. Let me switch back everything as I'm looking at it here. Actually, no, let me look at it. Just 1 second, guys. Okay, so that looks like we have quite a bit going on. Okay, so we got probably close to baseball size, tennis ball, baseball size hail south of whichever highway this is right here. Highway 83, right along riding right along 115. This storm is dropping really big hail in this area, and also just off on the eastern side of, I think this is I-25 maybe in Stratmore. This area is probably getting quite a bit of hail as well. Quarter, $50 ping pong ball size hail, probably very high volumes of that. And we have the bigger hail on the other side of, this is I-25, right? Oh, Highway 87. That's not I-25. Which one's I-25? This one I-25 is around here. Well, whatever. Highway 87 is that dividing line. I think the really big hail is going to be on this side of Highway 87 over on Fort Carson, and on this side, smaller hail but still severe hail. Quarter, $50 ping pong, maybe some quarter golf ball size hail. Actually, yeah, no, that's probably golf ball size hail all the way over here, beyond the highway in Colorado Springs. But definitely that western side, Fort Carson's getting blasted right now. You guys are probably getting baseball size hail in Fort Carson, all across that area. I mean, if I zoom in, you can see all the blues and greens. It's very similar to what we had a little bit earlier, where the baseball size hail came in. Whoops, don't want to do that. Where that baseball size hail report came in. Let's get it over here. You can see, you kind of just follow it along here. All these greens and blues, this is where your really big hail is falling. That's continuing down Highway 87 in Fort Carson, and then on the other side of that, that's in Stratmore. I think these are all just sections of Colorado Springs. It's all heading towards Fountain. I think Fountain, you're about to get blasted yet again. You might get baseball size hail again, which is ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. I can't believe this much big hail seems to happen in Colorado this year. You guys are hogging it all. Now, Mother Nature must really like that recreational marijuana or something, because you guys just can't keep getting it. You already have a ping pong ball report in northeast of Security, so we got ping pong ball size hail all across this storm. At the very least, ping pong ball size hail across the entirety of this storm. So a ping pong ball report is coming in over here. So that way that means you have at least ping pong ball size hail across this whole thing. So wouldn't be surprised you get a couple 2-inch reports over in this area as well. These are areas that have been hit. Again, a lot of these areas got completely annihilated in June, and now getting hit again. We got some new areas getting hit though. Broadmoor, these areas did not get hit. I do not believe did not get hit in that June storm. Do they get hit every other day? It's been feeling like it right now. But the fact baseball size hail in the Front Range is crazy. Like, I honestly am surprised at the fact that they keep getting it. Like, man, this is the year. This is like Colorado's banner year. Apparently, whatever the setup was for 2018 was perfect for Colorado, because they are knocking it out of the park with every single decent setup we're getting. But anyway, this is a new 5-star map, as you may imagine. We're another 5-star map. This is what? How many 5 stars have we made in Colorado so far? Is this like the 4th one? This is the 4th one for Colorado. We've made more 5-star maps in Colorado than I think everywhere else in the country.
Okay, so there's 4 in Colorado and 3 in Texas.
Yeah, so Colorado just surpassed Texas now for the amount of 5 stars, which I think Texas has been the record holder for like every year. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so that's so this is the 4th 5-star map for us here in Colorado. That there's been 3 in Texas, 1 in Alabama way back in March. We've had 1 in Calgary last week. So that means Colorado now, just the state of Colorado, has had as many 5-star maps as the rest of the United States this year combined. So it shows that you guys are really the focus now of where all that hail is. So in the ensuing chatter there, let me look at a couple things. And yes, so within that ensuing chatter, the storm has moved. We had an updated radar. You see the nice pinks here. And if I step on the other side over just the reflectivity, there, look at the CCs now. So now we have like what looks to be pretty widespread, like really big hail now. But you don't. God, the last time we saw this was when it was in Colorado Springs, like 2 months ago. The same exact place, the same exact thing. Yeah. A little different area. Yeah, slightly different area, but again, all these blues and greens, that means that we're getting pretty widespread large hail. Again, this ping pong ball report came in before the storm even really got through, so we're probably seeing 2-inch to baseball size hail. Again, along Highway 87, maybe just east of it, especially in Fort Carson, continuing to move south towards Fountain. Big Fountain, you guys are about to get pounded by a pretty good storm here in the next coming minutes. Next 10-15 minutes as it continues to just pretty much move due south. We might be copycatting the path of that other storm that moved through in March, not March, Jesus, I'm thinking of this in June for the one that was in like 3 o'clock in the morning. And somebody asked about Cheyenne, Wyoming. Yes, Cheyenne, you guys had quite a bit, probably $quarter, $half size hail across the whole city. I mean, Cheyenne's not that big, so it's not a crazy accomplishment, but nonetheless, at the very least, we got a new hail date for folks there, but the main focus is going to remain here since we are making another 5-star map. We got a 2-inch report now in the same spot where the ping pong ball report was. Has now been upgraded to 2-inch report. So again, that just reiterates the fact that we have up to 2-inch, probably up to tennis ball, baseball size hail. And look at, my God, look at the CCs now are much more classic of just widespread large hail, lots of greens and blues. This is the stuff that usually happens in Texas and Dallas. And I mean, Dallas did get one this year, but this is more common in that area than Colorado. Colorado has been much more known for that high volume, smaller hail, but for some reason this year's the year where every storm wants to drop baseball size hail. So here we are. And this is these are images. I'm sure if you guys have watched our coverage since February, you've probably seen this 2-panel quite a few times. You got the nice pinks, the nice looking supercell on this side, and all the greens and blues on this side. And you're like, all right, this area is getting blasted. That is the case. This is a very similar area to what was hit about a month and a half ago. So if they didn't get any damage, or hey, you might have brand new customers that you just finished a roof on, you might need to go and might need to give them a call pretty soon here, because we're going to be getting another big storm blasting through. And when I bring up this particular product, the KDP, this one, when it bottoms out like this, it always usually means that there's very large hail falling. And yep, well, everything about this screams to me that there's very large hail falling across, what is this? What town is it? Is this technically Fort Carson or Security, I guess, as part of Security, Fountain, this area. I had ping pong ball size hail was reported. So we had ping pong balls all the way out to the end of where the houses were and now 2-inch hail, and I wouldn't be surprised to get another tennis ball, another baseball, basically another little blue icon to show up on the screen. I would not be surprised if that happened. And also, just as another note, the storm over by Falcon that moved through Black Forest and into Falcon, this probably had a pretty good size hail too. I mean, it's warned for ping pong ball size hail. Would not be surprised if it had ping pong ball size hail in it. So I got two different storms going on. This is obviously the big boy storm from now south of Colorado Springs. You see this little tail right here. That's the inflow. So it's feeding off of the mountain. So you got that again. The wind's blowing into the mountains. There's lift because the mountains are there. There's nowhere for the air to go but up, and it goes right up into the storm. Another tennis ball report has come in for just west of downtown Colorado Springs. So it looks like that was in here. I'll roll it back for folks who are just joining us, who might not have been watching from earlier. We came on the air right around here. Storm rolled off the mountains, came into Colorado Springs, really took off in this area, and had up to the tennis ball to baseball size hail moving through, and is now moving into an area that's very similar, if not almost identical, to the area. We're moving into Fountain now. Northern sides of Fountain, this area got up to 3.5-inch hail. I don't know how big the biggest hailstone was in this storm. It happened about 3-4 in the morning, but we didn't get to do live coverage for it because it happened in the middle of the night. Well, now here we are. We're doing coverage, same basic area. So if you have been in Fountain, you've been in Colorado Springs, if you've been working that area this year since mid-June or early June or whenever in June that storm happened, well, hopefully you've put your car in the garage or something, because this storm is going to be moving through right now almost identical areas that have been hit already this year. So for example, right here across Route 16 and Fountain Mesa Road, that's probably the area that's getting blasted right now with very high volumes of hail, ranging probably from the smallest quarter-size hail, probably all the way up to tennis ball size hail. So that's a big-time hailstorm. For another 5-star map. It's our first American 5-star. Wait, what's today's date? No, it's the first 5-star map of August so far this year, I think. Was it on August 1st? No, it wasn't. So this is, yeah, I believe this is the first 5-star map in the month of August so far for us. I don't remember if Calgary happened on the 1st or on like the 31st or something, but nonetheless, the first domestic 5-star map of this month for the Colorado Springs area moving through. And if you're watching in the Denver area, no need to worry. There is the potential for storms still. It does not mean the day is over. You can even see a couple showers trying to pop up to the west of Denver. So we'll be here, obviously, do coverage of any large storms that move through Denver. And folks even further to north, we had another secondary storm move through Cheyenne, Wyoming. That had $250 size hail. That's going to be a 2-star map. But it hit most of the city, which is always nice for people wanting to get new hail dates. And reports are really starting to come in now as the storm is moving it's in Fountain, and I think the main hail is going to move just to the east of the central part of town here, and move just to the east that way. DFW. Somebody said DFW. No hail in DFW, man. Not anytime soon, anyway. It's about 95 degrees in Dallas, and that's all I gotta say about that. So, yeah. So we got ping pong ball size hail came in on the storm to the north here. Let me show you guys that. So we had a second storm. This one in Falcon. So we have two different storms. You got the one in Falcon and the one in Fountain. Got two F names. Falcon up to ping pong ball size hail. That was started back up way at the top of my screen here by Black Forest and came down to the south and east. And here's a storm that's in Fountain right now that rolled off the mountains and probably was at its strongest point from about Broadmoor all the way through Fort Carson to about now. It looks like the storm is beginning to maybe weaken just the tiniest bit. But when you're having a storm that was dropping baseball size hail on the Front Range. There's really not too much to go when it weekends is still a very good hailstorm. So folks in Colorado, rejoice. You got another hailstorm. Maybe we'll see if we can get stuff in Denver maybe a little bit later on. If any storms can get bubbling up there. So, but right now, just kind of waiting for that next update. Looks like we have cross areas. Again, like I mentioned before, Highway 16 over by Woody Creek Drive. You're seeing continued period of a golf ball, the tennis ball size hail. Now with that next frame update, beginning to move out of town a little bit. Like looks like we're right here along Fountain Mesa Road, as far south as what's a cross street I can say here, Bowling Wire Way. It's probably where the hail is stopped at the moment, but you know, just admire the CCs when they're this vibrant. It's very easy to indicate got a lot of hail falling, probably quite a bit of large hail falling. Usually we don't get the greens and blues till we get to at least 2-inch hail. So the fact that we got this and it's moving off to the south and east, good news for folks who are wanting, at the very least, to maybe get some repeat business in people who might have just gotten their hails, their roofs replaced from the storm about a month and a half ago. Driving to Fountain now, says Luke. All right, about a mile away. Let us know what you see. If you can get yourself up, get away from the highway, get yourself a little east, you can probably pop into some hail here. The storm is kind of raging on. I think it's gonna start moving. The hail core is gonna start moving east of town, probably in the next few minutes here. Is that a new storm trying to develop? Might have a new storm trying to develop over by Broadmoor. You see that little diamond showing up. Might have another storm trying to bubble up here, so I have to keep an eye on that. I mean, obviously we're still live, not going anywhere. But let's see. Yeah, so two storms right now. Chances for Denver still today? Correct. Yes, there is still a chance for Denver today. Just because we have a big storm moving to Colorado Springs does not mean that it's all over for Denver. We actually just got a severe thunderstorm watch just a couple moments ago for Denver. I'll tell you guys that we could have hail up to 2 inches diameter according to the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, and winds up to 70 miles per hour. And they're giving about 40-30% chance of that happening, which is pretty good. And also, okay, somebody Luke saying cross streets. All right, let's give you a couple cross streets here. So the storm has just moved past. If you can get to where Sneffels Street and the Mesa Ridge Parkway intersect, so basically where the Mesa Ridge Parkway does this little curve here. So Sneffels Street, I can't believe that's the road I gave you, but Sneffels Street and Mesa Ridge Parkway. I feel like that's a good one to check out. The storm probably rocked right through there. Go check out, see, let us know what you find. See how big, see if there's still, I'm sure there'll still be hail on the ground, but let us know what gets through. Most of the hail, the biggest hail, I think, is now moving out of the majority of the population. So it's moving out of town, but probably is not going to be the end of our coverage. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch has just been issued for the entirety of the Front Range, all the way from Denver up through into Wyoming. So that means everybody from Castle Rock, Centennial, Golden, Broomfield, Greeley, and Loveland, and Fort Collins, all you guys are under severe thunderstorm watch through this evening, so which means this will probably not be the only storm. We will continue to see more storms develop through this evening. Again, it is only just now hitting 3 p.m. in Colorado, so you guys have a lot of daytime and evening time to work through. So, and also who just happens to be in Colorado is C3 Group, our sponsor for this video. I'm going to throw on their commercial again, just because I'd like to get a drink of water really fast. So I'm gonna cue that up. Yeah, hitting the same spot, it hit twice already this year. That is true. There are other areas, Dustin, that have been blasted. Different spots in the Colorado Springs area that seems to have been hit. So at least be something to check out here. The area is just west of downtown. With that, I'm gonna cue up that ad real quick, and I'm gonna grab myself a drink of water. All right, guys, and we're back here with latest update on these storms that are impacting Fountain, Colorado. And yes, as mentioned, this is an area that's been hit, I guess, a couple times already this year. But earlier, probably where the strongest hail was up in Colorado Springs, the west side of Colorado Springs, it looks like. That area may not have been, definitely wasn't impacted with the level of hail this year yet. So there is wow, holy cow. The marker just jumped a ton on that. 4-inch hail size marker. Good God. Man, this storm really exploded now on top of Fountain, Colorado. Right over like Ermel Road and Link Road. Really that storm's really going to Pound Town. We got a golf ball upwards of tennis ball size hail, and that'll be moving out of Fountain fairly soon. An update on the storm that happened in Cheyenne. We do have a golf ball report that came in. So south side of Cheyenne, looks like you guys had up to golf ball size hail. Cheyenne's a pain. The radar is in the middle of the city, so a good chunk of the city has no radar coverage at all. So you have to pick it up from the Denver radar. But I'm not changing radars right now just because we're still focusing down south, but just to give you guys an update, yeah, we got up to some golf ball size hail in Cheyenne as well, so that might up the intensity of that map just a little bit. And good God, this storm is going bonkers. 4.43. The algorithm is spitting out 4.43 inches, which is very intense. It's up in the white. The only bigger one we get is a little black filled in diamond. So big time hailstorm. I think the crazy hail, if this ends up dropping softballs or something, it might just barely miss civilization, as we're going to be moving. Once we move past Fountain, it gets very rural very fast, and then coverage of that storm will come to a close pretty quickly as I continue to watch for other storms. And if you are in Colorado Springs proper, yes, there is indeed another storm happening. It looks like something else is trying to fire itself up. It's a pretty worked over environment here. So I don't know if it'll really fire up that much more, but we're watching it. We'll see if anything else occurs. And there also was a storm that was over by Black Forest and Falcon. Let me just get the zoom correct. This moved through. This had quarter up to ping pong ball size hail. That has now since started to really kind of die out. Hail is beginning to end in this one. I think the storm down by Fountain is the one that has really gone dominant, really taken over. You can see the inflow with it moving through into the Fountain area. So this is the biggest storm. There it is, a tennis ball report, as I pretty much figured was going to happen. We've been saying golf ball, tennis ball size hail, Fountain, tennis ball, probably some baseball size hail happening now. Just see if Luke Jones, if you found anything. I don't know if you're still watching, still got the stream up, but I know if you went to town, I guided you right to where that tennis ball report came in. So let me know if you see anything crazy from that. But yes, it is crazy that this has happened again. Colorado Springs, man, you guys are just, you're turning into the new Dallas or something. You guys just keep getting hit. It's crazy. Colorado this year has really been hogging all that hail. But I do see a little shower here just to the west in the mountains of Denver. So I may have to bring up a second radar to see if something happens with that. So while just loading that up off screen, guys. Storm is now beginning to move out of population. It's just now hitting the last outskirts of Fountain, Colorado, where it managed to leave before, or managed to drop more tennis ball size hail before leaving civilization, which we had now had another very hail report filled storm move through Colorado Springs, making that the 4th 5-star map of the year for Colorado, the hail MVP of 2018. I think that will probably go unchallenged for the rest of the year. They've really started to pull away. But nonetheless, again, we look to the north, we shift to the north, we see other showers trying to pop up. So, means we're not done. I don't think this is going to be it. I think we're going to see more storms possibly form, possibly move through the Denver area. So if you don't really care about Colorado Springs, you don't go south of Castle Rock in your coverage, don't worry. I think there might be some more storms ahead. And if you guys work in everybody works up in Cheyenne, we had up some golf ball size hail on the south side of town there as well. So I think this might end up being a pretty busy day for the Front Range. We'll see how things shake out. So give that like, give it a share. I hope you guys have been enjoying this continuing coverage. I know we had a little bit of technical issues at the beginning there and switching out the cameras. We won't worry about batteries dying or anything since we're now plugged in directly, and we'll just continue this coverage for as long as necessary. All right, I got on my other screen, I have the Denver radar loaded up. There we go. And we'll see how these little showers bubble up and develop. But for now, we're going to keep that focus on the radar that I have currently up. As this stuff, man, this stuff keeps going. Luke says traffic will stop just coming into Falcon. All right, Luke. Well, it's probably because they got pounded with hail. So you'll see the aftermath. You won't actually get into it. I don't know if you were jonesing to get into a big hailstorm just now or anything, but you'll probably see quite a bit of hail on the ground. I'm curious to see how crazy the hail piling up is. If it's going to be super high volume, we got like inches of hail on the ground or anything. So if you're just joining in, we had big storm roll off the mountains, hit Colorado Springs with the baseball-sized hail, and then move south all the way down through Fountain, Colorado. Storm is now moving away from civilization. It is a monster, though, probably dropping some serious baseball-sized hail. You guys can all thank our CEO, Derek Klein. He was in Colorado last week, shut all the hail off. He left, he's back here, and now Colorado decided to have hail again. So I call that the hail trace curse sometimes. We've seen the shit come into town and nothing happens. So, but as soon as we left, things got going. So, I got a couple Snickers in the office from that one. So, interesting thing to note here, it looks like we have a big hail spike, even within the radar. So right here, you see the pinks and everything over Fountain, where it looks like we might be getting big hail. That's actually just the hail spike. So there's so much hail in the radar that's like causing the returns to refract and causes a big spike in the CCs going all the way out here. So that's not really what's falling. That's just showing that there's probably big time. There's probably well over baseball size hail falling now, just to the east of Fountain, where it's just pastures at this point. So it's not too many people being impacted by that. Get the other radar going here. All right, guys. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch the radar real quick. Did I switch it? Oh, sweet, I did. All right. So now I've switched over to the Denver radar. So I was pulling from Pueblo, the southern radar, the one that's much more equipped for Colorado Springs. And that storm has now since moved away from civilization. So the focus on that starting, the damage is done, the hail has fallen. I'm now starting to shift my focus over to west of Broomfield and Arvada, where we have a little thunder shower trying to bubble up here. I'm going to see if this does anything. So this is just west of Denver, or just west of specifically Arvada and Broomfield, which are areas just north of Denver. I'm going to have to see if that bubbles up. We have a couple other showers trying to bubble up. Showers, this is usually how your storms happen. You got these little storms that kind of bubble up just in the mountains. They roll off the mountains and then they take off. So you have to watch this super carefully. Off to the north, can I go far back enough to see the Cheyenne storm? Not so much. Can't really seem to see too much. So, and also you can see the hail spike like crazy on here. So this is from a farther away radar. This is a more classic hail spike. It's just that little finger that sticks way out. It's always a pretty good indicator that you're getting up to baseball size hail. Another thing, no, it looks like we have another storm trying to form to the west of Colorado Springs out over the mountains. So we might have to keep an eye on that. You might get a double dip of some hail here today in Colorado Springs if that thing can hold itself together. No marker on this yet. Let's see if I can bring up the echo top, see if that got a little yellow. Let's see. The fact that echo tops are increasing and got up to those yellows there means the storm is trying to strengthen a little bit, trying to increase in size. We'll see if we can actually get it to take off. But in the meantime, I think I may take a little bit of a break, guys. I'll come back if anything exciting occurs across Denver, so it might just be in a few minutes. I'll see if Heather needs any help, try to get some pictures together for you guys. Actually test out a couple things with our camera setup. There's a couple bugs that I want to kind of try to figure out. So we'll probably be back. Don't worry if you're in Denver and you haven't seen anything happen yet. No need to fear. There is more activity where this has come from. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Share this video, follow our page, hit see first. That way you don't miss if we come back with more live coverage. If you have notifications set up, you will also get that push notification saying, hey, we're live again. And of course, all the alerts we've been sending out for these storms, you've been getting those as well. So I'll be back in a little bit, guys, hopefully to cover storms moving through Denver. I'll talk to you in a little bit.